My first day in London was cold and rainy. I arrived at the airport very early in the morning. The sky was gray and the streets looked quiet. I carried my small suitcase and tried to find the underground station. At first, I felt nervous because everything was new to me. The people spoke very fast English, and I could not understand every word. But I was also excited because London was one of the cities I always wanted to visit. After taking the train, I looked outside the window and watched the city slowly wake up. I saw old buildings, red buses, black taxis, and many people walking quickly to work. London looked busy but beautiful at the same time. When I arrived at my hotel, I put my bag in the room and decided to explore the city immediately. My first stop was Big Ben. I had seen it many times in movies and pictures, but seeing it in real life felt different. The clock tower looked huge and historic. Nearby, I could see the river and hear the sounds of the city. Tourists were everywhere, taking photos and smiling. I stood there for a few minutes and enjoyed the moment. Then I walked across Westminster Bridge. The wind was cold, but the view was amazing. I could see boats moving on the river and people riding bicycles along the streets. A street musician was playing guitar near the bridge, and his music made the atmosphere feel magical. Later, I visited Buckingham Palace. There were many tourists waiting to watch the guards. The guards wore tall black hats and red uniforms. Everyone around me seemed excited. I took some photos and bought a small souvenir from a nearby shop. By afternoon, I became hungry, so I entered a small cafe near the city center. I ordered fish and chips with hot tea. The food was simple but delicious. While eating, I listened to conversations around me. Some people talked about football, others about work and daily life. It felt interesting to hear different accents and cultures together in one city. After lunch, I decided to visit the British Museum. Inside the museum, I saw ancient statues, old books, and historical objects from many countries. I spent hours walking through the halls. Every room told a different story about history and human civilization. In the evening, the streets became brighter with lights. London at night looked completely different. I walked through Piccadilly Circus, where giant screens covered the buildings with colorful advertisements. The place was full of energy. Cars moved slowly, people laughed loudly, and music came from nearby stores. That night, I met a young man named Daniel at a coffee shop. He was born in London and worked as a photographer. We talked for almost an hour about life, travel, and dreams. He told me that London can feel lonely sometimes, but it also gives people many opportunities. Before leaving, he recommended visiting Tower Bridge early in the morning. The next day, I woke up before sunrise and went there. The city was quiet, and the air felt fresh. Tower Bridge looked beautiful under the soft morning light. I stood near the river and watched the sunrise slowly color the sky orange and pink. It was one of the most peaceful moments of my trip. Later that day, I got lost while walking through small streets. My phone battery died, and I could not use maps anymore. For a moment, I panicked, but then an old woman noticed my confusion and helped me find the nearest underground station. She smiled kindly and said, "London is easier when you stop rushing." I never forgot those words. On my final evening in London, I sat near the river with a cup of coffee and looked at the city lights reflecting on the water. I thought about everything I experienced during those few days: the people, the sounds, the rain, the history, and the unexpected moments. London was not only a city of famous places, it was also a city full of stories, emotions, and memories. When I finally left London, I felt different. I arrived as a nervous traveler, but I left with confidence and unforgettable experiences. Even today, whenever I hear the sound of rain or see a red bus in a movie, I remember my adventure in London and smile quietly.